Record on this computer. Good. That
Do
way
you,
I'm not
um,
cursing and putting it on the internet. Um, Hi. Okay. All right. So it's going to be about like 35, 40 minutes.
okay.
Active mobility session. So it's going to be a little bit more than in at least like intensity wise
Mhm.
than the daily mobility routine,
Okay.
which is increasing each week.
Okay.
Um, and you can mix them
Can
up.
I go back? Can I start like can I mix them like I don't know, start like from day
You'll
one?
have access to the video
Mhm.
regardless. So
Okay.
it's like YouTube, you just need to subscribe to the channel, but you'll have to click through the actual program because I have it unlisted so that way people
Yeah.
who aren't in the program don't have access to it. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So everything is in Discord and also in the app.
Mhm.
And yeah, so let's get started. Um, all right, we're gonna do starting right, and of course I still can't get my head not in the picture. Okay, uh, single leg mobility matrix. So you're gonna come onto stand on your left leg, right? Bring your
Mhm.
right heel up. You just kind of squeeze that hamstring in a little bit. You're gonna hinge, send the right leg back, come into a nice T, reaching with the right arm forward. Bend your front knee, tap the back foot down, put the back knee down, reach up and over. And find a nice little side bend there. Good. Shift your hips back, come onto the ball of your right foot, pull the left toes towards the shin. So hamstring stretch, actively drag that heel down on the floor, come forward, and then back up to stand. So you're gonna hinge. We're gonna go right into doing 3 more of these. I know it's like, oh, mobility first off. Good. Back knee down, back foot down, reach up and over. Get a nice stretch, lift up and out of that. We still stretch to the front of the psoas. Good. Shift the hips back. Come onto the ball of the foot. That way you're opening up the fascia on the bottom of the feet. Nice hamstring stretch through that left leg. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Come forward. Engage that core. Right leg up twice more, just like that. And then we're going to switch sides. So coming into that T, right arm extends, right leg goes back. Tap the foot down, tap the knee down, reach up and over. Good. Shift the weight back onto the ball of the right foot. You're going to lift that right knee up. Pull the left toes back, creating space. Get that core nice and tight. You should be able to stand up right away on that one. And then switch sides. Last time, after, and then we switch. Back knee down, back foot. Up and over. Try and find as much length as you can through that side waist. Shifting the weight back. And this time we're just going to come up to stand, feet together. Right foot stays planted. Left foot is going to come up, hug that heel towards the butt. Reaching, keeping the front knee stacked over the heel as you lower your back leg down to the floor. Reaching up and over. Shifting your hips back. Lift your left knee off the floor so that way you can really spread those toes, dig them into the ground. Shift the weight back forward, abs tight, come up to stand. 3 more times. Good. Just getting nice and active here right away. Did you have a good holiday?
I had a great holiday.
When's your family leave?
Um, that day. So, but it was
Is
good.
it crazy in New York right now?
It's the same, really.
One more time on this side. So left knee up. Find that nice T-shaped bend through the standing leg. Tap the back foot down, back knee. And shift the weight back. Lift that left knee off the ground. Dig your right heel down. And then come up to stand. All right. So next move, you're going to really fire up the core even more, keeping in that single leg. We're going to get into some mobility. So we're going to do a single leg walkout into a 3-legged dog. Okay. So starting with the left or the right leg lifted, keep the hips square. You can bend your standing leg on this one. You're going to walk out, try and keep your hips and your shoulders square to the ground. So now your right foot is in the air. You're going to press your hips high, shift your chest back towards your thigh, and then reset, okay? You're going to walk back with that foot in the air, and we're going to do 3 more on this right side, okay? So keeping that right foot lifted, find that plank, press back to the down dog, right leg comes high, walk it back, hands to feet, come up to stand. You can stop your foot down for a second, and then we're going to go, oh, you're not hanging out in down dog, so just keep walking back, yeah, right? This is not nice and stretching, good, so keep that. You want the heel and the hip to be on that same level when you come into the plank. Soft bend to that back knee, and then walk it on back one more time on this side. If you see me wince, it's because I took a really nasty fall yesterday, and putting my hands are, well, it looks like I got attacked by Freddy Krueger. Okay, and now we're going to switch sides. So walking out with the right foot down, come into a little bent leg, right? Find that stacking of the shoulders over the wrist before you press back into that down dog, chest to thigh. Good. And then walk your hands back, core stays tight, hips come up. Okay, twice more. Good, last one on this side. All right, okay. All right, next one's gonna get a little bit spicier. So we are going to start in a forearm plank, okay, right, and then you're gonna walk your elbows back or your forearms back until your knees are bent, so now you're in that bear plank, and then you're gonna walk it forward, right, so really puffing up through the shoulders, the back side of the body, knees will come underneath the hips, and then crawl back into a plank. We're gonna do 3 more. Right, just stay moving. If you need to pause, go ahead and pause in that plank before you walk back. Right, really good for the shoulders, creating space here. Last one, and tap your knees down for a second. Give yourself a couple of shoulder rolls. Good. All right. We are going to have now, we kind of opened up a little bit more space through here. Come into all fours. All right, bring your toes together. They can be tucked or untucked. And then your knees wider than your hips. So right hand is going to come to the base of the skull. I want you to push into your left hand. Really feel like you're pushing up out of the shoulder joint. And then also press your head back into your right hand. Then you're going to spiral open, keeping your hips square to the floor, right? So this rotation is just happening through the spine. And then bring your elbow to tap your left forearm. Good. And just keep rotating around this little like spigot of your spine. Twice more. Good. Really exhale as you twist open. And bring your right hand down. Square the shoulders, square the hips. Same thing. Left elbow is going to come wide. Press your head into your left hand. And then rotate in. Elbow touches forearm. And spiral open. And maybe one side is tighter than the other. And just keep moving through that. We're going to do 4 more times. Good, and last one. Excellent, hand comes down. Now, from here, I'm gonna have my hand on this pad because otherwise it would feel like death. So we're gonna come into a T-plank, right? So you're gonna have your feet about hip to shoulder width distance apart. Your hands will be under or wrists will be underneath your shoulders. Drop your heels over towards the right side. Let the outer edges of your feet come down to the ground. You're going to come into a side plank, and then I want you to push through your right hand, send your hips high like you're in the side plank down dog with crossed legs. And then come forward, right, side plank, come back through center, rotate over towards the other side, right arm in the sky, push your hips high towards your heels, right, really get into that shoulder, and then back through center. Just twice more from side to side. So you can bend your bottom knee to bop that top hip up, pull through plank, come through center, really engaging that core, pushing into the thumb and forefinger, so that way you lift up out of the shoulder joint, feel, don't collapse through that wrist. One more from side to side. Good. Maybe feel some nice cracks in there, weaken up the body. And set those knees down and hang out. Okay, so I am going to go over the workout. A couple reps of each exercise. So there's going to be 8 different exercises. We're going to do 8 reps of each straight through. There'll be like a minute, 75 seconds rest in between each set. So just 2 rounds, and then we'll stretch a little at the end. Cool? Right, so we're going to stay moving, little contralateral circuit. So you are going to need a chair of sorts for this first exercise. So everything is going to be done with the band, right? Because we are in that foundational program, really focusing on movement. So single leg squat. This band here is actually going to help keep your knee from collapsing inward. So you're going to lift one foot off the floor. You're going to sit down into the chair and then back up, right? So it's going to give you a little bit of a boundary. Guide your hips back. Don't let that knee cave in. 8 reps on one side, 8 reps on the other. Next is going to be a tall kneeling single arm press. So you'll bring the band to wrap around your ankle, extend your bicep in line with your ears, other arm out to the side. Keep that rib cage pulling in, 8 and 8. Next, you are going to have, you'll move the band to around your foot, which I know you can't see, but it's on my foot. So let's get somewhere where you can, right? Your chest is going to be like a half kneeling deadlift to stand. So your feet are going to stay exactly where they are. You're going to keep tension on the band. You see my chest is lifted, but my belly is on my thigh. I'm going to come up to stand. So I'm going to bring my feet forward in line. So you're having that hinging motion. And as you come down, it's more like a deadlift than a squat. Yeah? Keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. As you come down, this band is going to help with that. 8 and 8. You're going to keep the band on your foot after you switch sides. You're going to have a single arm row, 8 and 8. After that, coming down, and you are going to have wrong foot, excuse me. This is going to stay on the floor. So holding down with the right foot, you're going to come up into that hip bridge control on the way down. Okay? If it's easier for you to kind of hold it with your opposite hand underneath your butt and press up from there, depending on the tension of the band, you can go ahead and do that as well. And then you are going to do an incline push-up to a downward dog, right? So again, you can use the chair or the couch. Bring that chest all the way down, elbows coming in an A-frame, press back, heels come to the floor, get a nice stretch space through the shoulders, roll it back into that plank, press up, and then down dog. Our last, do you have a weight handy?
Yep.
Okay, great. So the very last thing that we're going to do is actually going to be an offset march. So you will grab your kettlebell, your dumbbell, whatever it is that you choose. Core stays nice and tight, right? Shoulders stacking over hips. You're just going to count 8, holding in that front rack position. Carefully lower the weight by your side, 8, and then switch sides, right? So that way we're just doing everything for reps, not for time. And now it's all you to go because it's teaching a class. All right, so starting with that single leg squat, that chair is going to be a little too high, right? So that's way too high. That's like you're not even bending your knees. How about the couch?
Wait, hold on. Is that too low?
Yeah, use the couch behind you, right? Yeah. And if it's unstable, you can have your hands like on the arm for a bit of support as you lower, right? So that way it just kind of acts as a guide. So we're gonna do 8 reps. Ready? And begin. Good. Yep, you're not putting that foot down on the floor, right? We're just gonna sit into that chair. Good, driving that knee out and then coming up to stand, just tapping your butt down. Beautiful. Good. Nice. Good. Excellent. All right, other side. Coming in. Using that chair as a guide, right? And then if you can see yourself in the screen too, see is your knee moving in or out. Keep pressing into that band to give you a little bit of feedback. Good. Try not to let your shoulder come forward though. So have your hand wider out to the side. So when you do the second round, I'm going to have you shift more towards the center of your couch. So that way you can be a little bit more supported in a way that's not going to make your shoulders feel junky. And all right, moving on to that single arm press from that tall kneeling position, right? So wrapping that band around the calf, squeezing the glutes, core in nice and tight, press up. We got 8, 2, good. Bicep finishing in line with the ear, nice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one. Switch sides. Good. Does that feel like a little bit too much tension in the band? Again, you can also hold it with your opposite hand behind your back and then press from there so that way you have less tension. Good. Yes, beautiful. Nice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent, right? Moving on to that half kneeling deadlift to stand again. All right, come into that kind of inline lunge position with your chest stacked over your knee. Tuck your back toes, push through the floor, come up to stand. Hinge it back, drive through that standing leg, right? Squeezing the glutes, keeping the shoulders plugging down away from the ears. That's 5. Excellent. Right. 6. Good. 7. Last one on this side. And switch, right? Starting from the bottom up. Coming into that half kneeling inline position. Tension through the core, right? Maybe you need to choke up on the band a little bit. And then squeeze that left glute as you come up to stand. Abs stay nice and tight. You're sending your hips back. Your knee is going to stay stacked over the ankle the whole time. Good. 2 more. Last one. And excellent. Onto that single arm row. So band is going to stay around your left foot. Coming back with that right arm. You can bend both knees. Elbow comes back by the hips. Good, right? Not letting that shoulder rotate forward, but really think about pulling from that area underneath the armpit, using your lats. 7, and last one. Good. Switch feet, switch hands, right? So keeping a nice tall chest. Again, thinking if you want to, we're a rowing motion, you're going to end with that band just at the front side of the rib cage, right? So hand outside the ribs, elbow comes back towards the hips, going to help keep that shoulder from that anterior glide, that rotating forward that we see so much, right? When we just keep going. Last one. And done. Okay. Taking it on down to the ground. You have your single arm hip bridge press, right? So coming into a glute bridge position, right? You can go ahead and bring, again, the band behind your back, holding it in your left hand. Right elbow comes out to the side in the A-frame. Punch that arm straight up towards the ceiling. 3, good. Keep squeezing your glutes. Keep pressing your shoulder blades down. 5, good. This will actually help balance out the shoulders a little bit rather than rotating. Hips are nice and lifted without arching the lower back. Last one on this side. And then we're going to switch. So if you have your hand holding the band behind your back, arm presses up, right? Fist over chest, palm is facing away from you. Try not to lose the big ball toe mound of the feet as you're pressing down, right? Energetically drag the heels back in space. 2 more. Last one. And coming into that incline push-up to down dog, right? So finding that chair, table, bench, whatever surface you have, right? Think that you want to be somewhere on like a 45-degree plane. Drop your heels down away from you. Good. Elbows come into that A-frame, press up. Find that nice stretch. Let your head drop through the frame of your shoulders and then come back. Good. Good. Squeeze your glutes. Right. Find that nice space through the hamstrings. There's a little bit of mobility in there too with the push-up. Right. Good. Elbows a little bit wider. Nice. Right. Find that full plank. Don't keep those hips lifted. You want to get that butt down in line with the shoulders. There you go. Nice. One more. Excellent. Okay, now we have the march, right? So grab your dumbbell, your kettlebell, whichever you're using, all right? Clean it up to the shoulder, keeping that core nice and tight. Try not to shift from side to side. Move nice and slow. Really think about bringing the rib cage towards the hips, right? So it's almost like it's a little crunch, but keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Once you get to 8, you're going to bring your hand down by your side. Really, again, think about activating through the lats. Keep the hand away from the side. You have 8 steps. Keeping the toes pulling up towards the shin. Opposite arm can be like making a fist out to the side. Excellent. Push through that standing leg. Last one, and then switch sides. Good. 8 reps. Nice. Think about pulling up from the heel like you had a string attached to your knee and down to your ankle. Nice, Gina. And 8 with your hand down by your side. Really feeling those obliques starting to fire. 7, and rest. All right. That was round 1.
Oh, yes.
Now you got 1 more to go. And then we'll stretch. All right, so let me set a little bit of a timer. Heart rate should be up, yeah? Good. And stopwatch. Good. Now if you've got, take a break.
Oh,
Yeah, give yourself that break. All right. You are going to have about 30 seconds left. Excellent. Okay, Gina, let's take it from the top with the single leg squat to the chair. Good. Good. So separate your feet a little bit more, right? So that way you can feel the band. Now shift your weight onto that right leg. Sit and sit back. And then stand up, squeeze the butt. But you're not coming over the side, right? So don't you don't want to do this, right? You want to sit straight back. Yep, have that chair there. 3. Excellent, right? Don't rotate through the shoulders. Keep them nice and square, abs super tight. Beautiful, right? And so this just helps with the knee tracking, having the band there, right? So keep that knee and hip in one straight line. Beautiful. 2 more. And last one. And switch legs. Okay. All right. Excellent. Good choice. Okay. So depth marker with the couch behind you, right? Drive that knee out to the side. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. 5, 6. Last 2. Nice. Good. Try not to put weight into your hand that's set on the chair. And now right into that single arm tall kneeling press. So into on the knees, right? Band is going to come around the just one shin, right? So 1 foot. Or you can hold it behind your back. So yep, from opposite, you're going to take it with you're in a tall kneeling. So you're not in a half kneeling position. Both knees are down. Both knees down. Both knees down. There you go. Now, from here, right, and so you can see how I have it behind my back. So I want you to bring the band up to just behind the knee and then press up, straight, 8 reps. There you go. Extend up, exhale as you press. Good. 2, 3, a little bit faster. 4, beautiful. Nice and steady and controlled. Excellent. 6, 7, 8, beautiful. Opposite side. Good. Staying nice, tall. Abs in, nice and tight. Good. And press up. 2. Good. Don't pull that opposite shoulder back, right? So fight to keep it square. Make a fist. Make your arm active and bring it away from the body. That's going to engage everything and help keep it away. Yes. Beautiful. 6. Last 2. 7 and 8. Now you come into that half kneeling position, right? So you'll have the band around your front foot in that half kneeling position, taking hold of it here, right? I'm going to choke up on that foot a little bit, have it down underneath my heel, squeeze the butt, come up to stand, feet together, and then back into that, knee taps down. 3. Good, with control, right? 4. So maybe hold the sides of the band rather than the top. 7. Really squeezing that right butt cheek. And last one, I'm going to shift my opposite foot in front. I'm going to bring my back knee down now. My chest is going to come down. I'm going to make sure that I have constant tension on the band. You can always do this without the band too. Shoulders plugged down the back, away from the ears. Feel like you're wrapping your armpits in and step up, right? Squeezing the glutes. 2, 3, 4. I have that pad there just because I fell. It's on my knees, are all scraped up.
Oh.
Yeah. And last one. All right, taking it into that hip bridge press, right? So now just, lay down on the floor. Good. Lift your hips up into the bridge first. Walk your heels away from your butt. Away from your butt. There you go. Now press your shoulder blades down. You're going to take it in one hand. Now you're going to set up with your band press. Okay? Shoulder blades down. Don't arch the back. Even more. Now you have to press. You have to do that exercise. Yeah, there you go. So you're going to have to bring your opposite arm like more under your butt. Inside. There you go. Now put your shoulder down, elbow press straight up. What are you doing with your hand, right? So you're right, you have your wrist back, you're like trying to punch overhead. I want you to press this chest press. Right? So straight up, like you're trying to punch me in the face, like I was standing over you, yelling at you. Why aren't you doing it right? Good. Again. Last one, I want your palm to face away from you when you switch sides, right? So bring your hand under, you're going to switch sides. And as you press, your palm will face away from you, right? So towards your knees. Don't choke up on it, right? So bring your hand closer towards the opposite side. There you go. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt. There you go. Press up. Good. And then think about keeping your knuckles pointing up towards the ceiling, right? So no sassy wrists, but nice and strong wrist, right? One that would make a punch, right? You wouldn't punch anyone like this. There you go. Excellent. Nice. Control it on the way back down. Last one. Okay, now we have the incline push-up to the down dog. Beautiful. 2 more exercises, and then we'll do a little bit of a stretch and be on our merry way. Good. Good. Yes. Charge your heels back in space. So I don't want to think when you come up for that push-up that you're pushing forward with your toes. I want you to just like, right, so you're coming up here and you're keeping the hips high. I want the heels to be back, bodies in one long line, squeezing the glutes, and then press up. Good. Let's do 4 more. Beautiful. Elbows coming in an A for awesome. Hips high, creating space through the scapula, the shoulder blades, everything moving in harmony. Last one. Good. Heels down, use your core, grab that weight, bring it up to your shoulder. All right, we're going to march, right? And you can also do this with no weight. That's totally fine, really. It's about that patterning. So if you are rocking from side to side with a weight, set it down. See how much you can engage your abs. So Gina, don't lean forward. Don't stick your butt out, right? You want to think like you're here right now. You're kind of really arching in the spine. I want you to tuck your hips underneath you, right? Bring your knee up in front of the hip. There you go. Push. Keep going, right? Not a pause. And you have to straighten your standing leg. So when you bring one leg up, you don't want a bent knee, right? That's cheating. Squeeze the glute. Make that leg super strong. Good. Keep going. A little bit quicker than that, right? So we got to get through the exercise. We're trying to keep our heart rate up here. That is the goal. Strength endurance today. Good. So we will alternate on Wednesdays between a strength endurance type workout like this and a HIIT. So that way you're getting a full blend of the program. Of course, these will be available to you as well to do anytime. Good. A little bit quicker. Right? It's almost like you have to find that sweet spot between like too slow and too fast, right? It's like that good balance. Good. Hand down by your side, just 8 steps, right? So it's 1, 2. It's not 1, 2. Like, like it's 1 foot, 2 foot, 3. So that way it's not an alternating thing. Great. Good. Hips underneath you. Really tuck your pelvis up underneath. Good. Ribs in. Shoulders back. Whole torso leans back slightly. 7. Last one. Good. Excellent. All right. Set that down. Okay. Stay standing. We're going to use our seat. Okay. So Let me turn this to face you for that nice little stretch. Good. So you're going to come into that seat. Classic figure 4 stretch. Okay. Right ankle is going to cross over that left knee. You're going to flex your foot. I want you to shift your butt towards the front of the chair. Good. And then I want you see now my leg is my knee's kind of in there. I want you to actively press down using just your knee. Right. Try and make it parallel. Keep flexing the foot. Good. Now we're going to wiggle forward. And you're going to come onto your forearms on the chair. And you're going to bring your butt down towards the floor. But I don't want you to collapse through the shoulder. So only go, you don't want to sink here where you can stay up. So you're pressing into your forearms. Forearms should be on the couch. Yeah. Good. And now just rock your hips from side to side. Good. Keep actively pressing your right knee down and away from you. Good. Bring that foot to the floor. Lean forward slightly. Come up. We're going to take the opposite side. So again, you feel that nice space now opening through the front of the shoulders. Lots of combo stuff here. Everything with hips and shoulder openers today. You didn't even realize. All right, so making that figure 4 shape. Good. Stay here for just a second. Make sure that the foot that's on the floor, toes are pointing straight ahead. Really nice and actively pressing away with that left knee. Again, we're going to come scooch that right foot forward onto your forearms, pressing into the chair, dropping your seat towards your heels, and then shifting the weight from side to side. Good. Bring the foot down, shift off so you can come back. All right, so now you're going to come to stand behind the chair, taking a little bit of chair yoga here, right? So that you can actually use that stool, right? So yes, your classic dining chair, that would be, but yeah, that's actually perfect, right? So you're going to bend your knees slightly and send your hips into the chair. Good. And then you're going to walk yourself back until your arms are straight. Right, so you're just kind of getting that crease, and then your hands are going to come to the front of the seat, and you're pressing away, right? So you're using this as leverage. So think about, go faster, press into your hands, yes. So that way you're pulling space through the backside body. You're tilting your sit bones up towards the ceiling. It's beautiful, Gina. Let your head relax. You have a little bit more space there, right? So maybe if you're at home too, I like being over the chair that way, but you can also bring your arms to rest on top and let your head fall through the space of your shoulder. Keep tilting your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Keep active through the legs. Breathing here. And hands to the chair. Press up. Walk back in. Right hand. Well, you can just mirror me, but I have my right hand on the chair. I'm reaching up and over, pressing into my right hand to give me a bit of leverage. And then opposite side, I'm just going to turn around. Dropping the left shoulder down away from the ear, plugging through that left foot. And back towards center. And make sure you give your feet some love. Go ahead and spend as much time as you like foam rolling and holding nice long stretches. And I will see you on Sunday. We have our live. It's going to be an evening. Okay. So I will I can make whatever recipe you want. Just bring it to the table, or they're there. You don't have to make them, but it's always nice. I do like feedback, pictures being shared, all of that good stuff in the group. But we'll go live from Discord. So the link has been there. It's updated to the live session. You'll see it in the app to take you directly there, so you don't even have to think about it. And then I have the recipe in there. So cool. Yeah, check it out, play around. Let me know what you think. So wonderful to see you.
Yeah. Well, I'm working 3 days, so now I have more time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I actually really enjoyed it.
Awesome. I'm glad we could do this. And oh my gosh, Happy New Year tomorrow.
That's right.
Crazy. It's 2021. I cannot believe it. But I will see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
Or next year. Next year.
Next year. We're gonna see
It's
next
funnier
year.
to say.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.